Your cat doesn't stay with you because you love her, but also not because you feed her. She could easily decide to completely ignore you, or even run away. And yet, she keeps coming back to you. But why? The answer to this question goes deep into the history of the human-cat relationship, and it reveals what truly connects your cat to you. In this video, you'll discover the real reasons why cats stay loyal to us, and why your cat questions her decision to stay with you anew every single day. Sometimes we look at our cat and quietly wonder, does she really stay with me because she loves me? Or am I simply the person who opens her food cans? This uncertainty is completely normal. Cats are incredibly skilled at hiding their emotions, or expressing them so subtly that we can barely notice them. While a dog wags his tail with joy when his owner comes home, a cat might simply sit on the windowsill and slowly blink. And this quiet, reserved behavior has earned cats the reputation of being aloof loners. Even though that's not entirely true. The answer to why our cats stay with us matters not only to us humans. It also determines how safe and happy our cats feel by our side. Because when we understand why they stay, we can meet their needs even better, and take our connection with them to an entirely new level. To get a clearer view of what motivates cats, we need to take a step back. Back to the moment in history when the fate of humans and cats was forever changed. About 10,000 years ago, a story began that still shapes our lives today. The first humans began to settle down. They built villages, stored grain, and inevitably attracted mice. For the wild cats of that time, this was like a fully set table, plenty of prey, easy to reach, and safe to hunt, so they dared to come closer to human settlements. Here's the remarkable thing. No one tamed or captured these cats. While dogs were actively domesticated, cats came on their own. It was a voluntary decision, drawn by food sources and warmth, but also by a kind of silent agreement. Humans quickly noticed that these animals provided an invaluable service. They kept the food supplies free of rodents. In return, humans let the cats be, offering them protection and sometimes extra food. Over time, a unique relationship developed, one that still echoes today. But these early cats never stayed permanently with humans. They came and went whenever they pleased, and it was precisely this freedom that shaped their character and explains why cats still seem so independent today. Just imagine. While dogs completely submitted to humans, cats held on to a piece of wildness for over 10,000 years. Their loyalty was never based on force, but on a conscious choice. They stayed because they wanted to. And it is exactly this origin that makes their bond with us today so special, and at the same time, so fragile. If we want to understand why our cats still choose to stay voluntarily today, we need to remember that they make this decision anew every single day. And there is one essential foundation without which this bond could never exist: trust and safety. But trust doesn't come naturally to cats. It must grow slowly, step by step, and it is as fragile as thin glass. Cats are cautious creatures. They may appear curious, but deep inside, there's an ancient instinct telling them, mistrust keeps you alive. In the wild, a single wrong move could be fatal, which is why cats today are still highly sensitive to every change in their environment. When your cat trusts you, it's a gift she doesn't give lightly. It means she doesn't just accept you as part of her life, but sees you as a safe place, a harbor she can return to when the world feels chaotic and uncertain. Even scientific studies confirm this deep bond. Researchers at Oregon State University discovered that cats display attachment patterns strikingly similar to those of young children. In stressful situations, they seek closeness to their caregiver, just like a child instinctively seeks comfort and protection from its parents. But this trust is fragile. Even a single negative experience, a moment when your cat feels misunderstood or cornered, can shake it. And unlike dogs, cats often withdraw silently, so we may not notice right away. That's why trust isn't just the beginning of a bond, it's the foundation upon which everything else is built. But trust alone doesn't fully explain why cats stay by our side for years, entirely by their own choice. To understand that, we need to look more closely at the forces in everyday life that influence their decision day after day. When a cat stays with you, it's not a one-time decision that lasts forever. It's a quiet process that repeats itself every single day. Like tiny gears that constantly turn together, many factors interact, some visible, others so subtle we hardly notice them. Many cat owners still believe it's all about food, but if it were really only about that, then any stranger who set down a bowl would be just as good as you. But that's not how cats work. They consciously choose who has earned their trust and who hasn't. And this choice isn't based on who fills the bowl the fullest. The reasons why a cat stays are complex. And the better you understand them, the more you can contribute to ensuring your cat chooses every single day to come back to you of her own free will. Reason 1. Stability in everyday life. Cats are, humorously put, as flexible as a 60-year-old German when it comes to lunchtime. In other words, they are true creatures of habit. They love routines because routines create a sense of safety. When days are predictable, your cat feels secure. You are the most important fixed point in her life. Your coming and going, regular feeding times, little rituals like a quick morning greeting, playtime, or cuddle time in the evening, all of this becomes a set of anchors she relies on. This stability turns your home into a place where she feels in control and can truly relax, whether she's an outdoor explorer or an indoor companion. A cat who feels safe has no reason to withdraw or even to run away. Stability in everyday life is therefore the first invisible building block that strengthens her decision to stay with you. Reason 2. Positive emotions and happy hormones. Cats stay where they feel happy. That sounds simple, but the biology behind it is fascinating. When your cat interacts with you, her brain releases certain chemicals. For example, oxytocin, the very same hormone that also builds bonding and trust in humans. Or serotonin, which brings calm and well-being. And dopamine, the reward hormone, when you pet her or speak to her lovingly. A tender moment, playful interaction, or gentle stroking creates genuine feelings of happiness in her. And these experiences leave a deep imprint. Over time, she associates you not just with safety, but with all of these positive emotions. The more such moments you share together, the stronger your invisible bond becomes. Your cat stays because you are the center of her little universe. A universe filled with happiness that she cannot find anywhere else in the same way. Reason 3. Shared language and respect. Cats are constantly communicating, but often so quietly that we fail to notice. A twitching tail, slightly tilted ears, a brief glance. These are all messages. When we ignore or misinterpret them, our cat feels misunderstood. But when you learn to recognize these signals and respond correctly, something fascinating happens. Your cat realizes that you understand her, or at least that you're trying to. This mutual understanding creates deep trust. Equally important is respect. A cat who can freely decide whether she wants closeness or distance will stay willingly. She comes to you because she knows her boundaries are respected. This quickly makes you her favorite human, and your home a place she never wants to leave. Reason 4. Freedom instead of force. Perhaps the most important reason for a cat's loyalty is a paradox. She stays because she could leave. Cats value it deeply when they are never forced. This freedom turns closeness into a genuine, voluntary choice. When a cat could leave at any moment, She will naturally choose the place where she feels most comfortable. And when you give her that freedom, her affection will grow naturally. Force destroys this fragile balance. Holding her down, pressuring her, or not providing safe retreat spaces can push her away. But when she feels her decisions are always respected, she stays. Not out of obligation, but out of love. True loyalty cannot be forced. Reason 5. Shared experiences. Bonding doesn't just happen through daily routines, but especially through shared experiences. These can be exciting moments, like an adventure in the garden or a hunt for her favorite toy, but also quiet times together on the sofa. And, most importantly, those moments when she's not feeling well, when you hold her at the vet's office, or gently comfort her during New Year's fireworks. These shared experiences become memories that your cat unconsciously associates with you. They form an emotional archive that tells her, "Here, I feel safe and comfortable. Here, I belong." The more of these moments you share, the stronger the bond becomes. Together you create a story that only the two of you know, a story that keeps drawing your cat back to you again and again. Your cat's decision to stay with you doesn't come from one single reason. It's the result of many small, invisible threads that weave together into a strong bond. Safety, happiness, shared language, experiences, and freedom all interlock like gears, influencing each other. Tomorrow, try to observe your cat very consciously for one whole day. When does she seek your closeness? Which routines does she love most? What signals is she sending you? When you recognize and nurture these moments, you can be certain, my cat will always stay loyal to me. To learn how love feels from a cat's perspective and what that means for us as cat owners, click on the image that appears on screen now to watch my video on this topic.